About a month ago, this PC was in my shop for Intel instability issues, because the Intel Core i9-13900KF was completely fried, preventing you from doing just about anything, including installing Windows. The system would just constantly crash. So you might be wondering, why is it back? See, typically when you have these Intel instability issues, you file a request with Intel. But because it's a pre-built, we have to file it with the manufacturer. But because the system was out of iBuyPower's warranty, we thought we were gonna be out of luck. But because the system was purchased at Costco, they actually extend the warranty for an extra 2 years. So after filing a bunch of documentation, well, we shipped the system off to get repaired. And although they claimed that they swapped the CPU, reinstalled Windows, and made sure everything was working, it's here for a reason, and that's because when our customer got it back, they're getting no display out. So let's figure out and fix it once again. So anytime you get no display out of a computer, it typically is some kind of post error, otherwise known as the power on self test that your computer runs every single time on startup, which basically tests all the hardware and ensures compatibility. But if one of the components happens to fail in that test, something like your CPU, GPU, motherboard, storage device, or memory, well, the system will just give you no display. So the best way to figure out what component might be causing this issue is to look for any kind of diagnostic LED, which this ASRock motherboard happens to have in this top right corner of the board, which if we zoom in closely, looks to be stuck on the VGA LED, which means this GPU is throwing some kind of error. And the problem when you ship a computer is that your GPU is one of the easiest things to get damaged. So to figure out why this GPU is throwing that post error, let's first disconnect our 12+ 4-pin cable so we can pull the GPU right out, where if we look closely, that looks damaged. Because if you look at the back of the card, you'll see that it's perfectly flat, and then right there, that's some damage right there. It's almost like a dent. I mean, just look at the side profile of this GPU. It's warped. I mean, I hope you guys can see that, but that's really bad. And it's so damaged, in fact, that the GPU backplate isn't even attached anymore on either side. And I think I know exactly how this happened, because if we look at the back of the riser cable, we can see where it actually caught the card. And that lines up perfectly. And although it shouldn't have shifted like that to actually hit this riser, well, it's because, check that out, it broke off. And it's actually even worse. I'm not sure if you guys can tell this, but there's actually an indentation for the entire back of this case, which is not flat, which means I'm assuming that this case actually got dropped on the back half here, which actually caused everything to shift inwards and eventually broke this little riser mount. And because this wasn't holding the GPU securely, the GPU actually was banging in to the back of this card here, causing the severe damage. And just to check that it actually is the card that's broken, I went ahead and inserted a spare, and we're back to booting. And just because I know somebody's gonna ask, we did try reseating the card, and we got no display, and the exact same air LED. So this really sucks, and it means we're gonna have to send this whole system back once again. And all of this would have never happened if they just would have put something between the riser cable and GPU.